What's up guys, we have got another driving test leaving from Birmingham Garretts Green. This one went out at 2:45, so it is one of the much busier test times. This one did start off a little bit chaotic as an hour and a half before the test I had a flat tyre and I was rescued by my regular tyre people, which I have tagged them in this post. Not only that, my learner forgot their provisional, so we had to drive across the other side of Birmingham to get it. So remember, before test day, be prepared. Faults as usual will be popping up on the screen. Now, if you do find this helpful, please type anything in the comments just to help boost it up the algorithm. Even if it's just a couple of emojis, it will be appreciated. So as we can see, it is quite busy today. There is a lot of traffic queuing in front of us. Probably not the best way you want to start your test, and they do get stuck here for a while. Just to give you an idea, this is ×2 speed, so it's very sped up. Now, you may be thinking the gap in front is quite large, but they didn't pick up any minor faults down here. It was a really good safe gap. The camera does make it seem a little bit further. Now, if you look in the rearview mirror at how close that car is, more than likely they would pick up a fault for following distance. You can see their positioning is slightly out to the right. That's because they've been told at the end of the road they're turning right, so they've started to plan the positioning nice and early. So they finally got out of the test centre road, and it did take them just under 10 minutes, which is quite a long time if you think about it. The test can only be a maximum of 45 minutes long, and they've already lost 10 minutes of that. This stretch of road for the last few weeks has had quite a build up of traffic. Today is no different. The main things to be cautious of down here is making sure you don't enter the keep clear box. Now, with the yellow keep clear box on the floor, I've had quite a lot of students stop there, and for some reason they don't get marked down, but if you were to stop in this one, you would. He's been asked to go right at the roundabout. You need to make sure you don't signal too early. If you do, it might look like you're going in for a Mackey's. Now this is a really busy time to take this roundabout. He found a gap, he took it, and he really accelerated in. The white car behind the Prius wasn't impacted at all, so he took a small gap and he accelerated really well. I just want to point out how good this positioning is. As you come off this road, it is 2 lanes and it's further down that it merges. He kept nicely to the left and would have done a mirror check, otherwise, more than likely, he would have picked up a fault. Look at the positioning he has in the box coming up. He doesn't enter where the arrow it could have been he actually waits at the correct point of turn. If he was to wait at the very end of the box like I see some people do, it would be far too difficult to take that turn. Down this stretch of road here, he is doing the correct speed limit, about 30 miles per hour. The speeder you see at the bottom isn't the most accurate. If you do 30 miles per hour for a while, then it will eventually show you the correct speed. That's the same with the TomTom Speedo. When you do the independent driving, do not follow the speed that the TomTom is showing you. If it says you're doing 27, more than likely you're going faster. Use the regular car Speedo. Shortly he gets asked to pull up on the left. He doesn't do it straight away because of the parked cars. He gets past them, moves away from any of the drives, and then pulls up nicely. When pulling up, make sure you do use the left-hand signal to let everybody know what you're doing. That way they can pass you if they wish. It can be quite busy moving off from here, so remember, all round observations. If it is far too busy, you can put your right signal on, see if anyone lets you in. This road he's entering into gets quite tight. Every time you pass a parked vehicle, remember, centre right mirror for the right check, centre left mirror for the left check. This bar here is one of the stops and they're setting up the Satnav for the independent driving. I haven't actually had a test full of road signs in quite a while now, so take that as your sign to get used to the Satnav. At this junction he's going to be turning right. See where the red car's positioned? Perfect. Now shortly after the Satnav will be showing you you're turning left, so you must position immediately in the left hand lane. And down this road is a little bit higher than it is normally. He's seen the hazard ahead, so reduces his speed and lets them carry on. If somebody is doing something like that, give them plenty of space. You would want the same if it was your manoeuvre. Down this road they normally give pull up on the right or a parallel park. Let's see if they get that. And as predicted, it is a pull up on the right in reverse 2 cast lengths. It is the manoeuvre everybody wants. They didn't get any marks for this whatsoever. There was good all-round observations, good control. So you've been asked to pull up again. This is just a regular one. No hill start or anything like that, no angled start. They haven't blocked the drives either. There was a car behind them, but they did the mirrors and signals before they pulled up. Now, I just want to make something clear with this roundabout. Once you turn left, people tend to get lost and keep following the bend around to the left. My learner kept going straight ahead, which is the correct thing to do. Because of the roundabout, some people think you have to keep going around to the left, but if you look at the lines on the floor, you'll see that it was a new road. This bit's always incredibly tight. At some points you may need to hold back depending on the size of the vehicle that's coming. See here with how that vehicle's parked up, if there was something oncoming, you would need to stop. Remember, the less space, the less haste. Keep it nice and slow if it is extremely tight. Ideally, you want to aim for at least a meter's gap around the car, around the whole of it. Think of it as a protective bubble. So we're now more than halfway through the test. At the moment, he does not have a single fault. I haven't forgotten to put them up. This part here, because of the field, a lot of people think it's 40 mph road, but look, there's houses to the left, there's turn-ins, it's a normal 30 mph road. Coming up to the bit that I always point out is very, very tight. You can see just how busy it is. We're in peak school traffic at the moment. It's about 18 minutes past 3 at the moment, so all of the schools will pretty much be finished or just leaving. It's the infamous crossroads that causes everyone problems. Because they're the lead vehicle, they would enter the junction. Remember, people always run these lights. Look at the white car that is about to cross Milan's path. See, that's what happens when you enter as the third vehicle. It gets very close to causing a collision. We can see the light further ahead is still green. It now immediately changes, and again, cars shoot past the lights. You need to be very, very careful with this at that junction. Coming up is possibly some of the most pedestrians I've seen on a test in a long time. Everyone's getting off the bus, they're waiting by the crossings, there's lots of things going on here. Milan's holding back because there is quite a lot of traffic coming from the right. The bus now has his right signal on, so he knows it's moving off soon anyway. So, looking at the marking sheet, there was one fault. Apparently, there was harsh braking at some point. Now, I have popped it in there, even though I couldn't see it anywhere, and I've looked over this in many different speeds. If you can find it, let me know. It was to do with harsh braking at a traffic lights, and I also wonder why you would cross towards a car which is quite clearly on a driving test. As they drive into the test centre, you'll notice they'll finish with the car very crooked. They've done their manoeuvre, so they're not judged. So there was just one fault on this whole test. Absolutely amazing result. So as always, if you found it useful, drop me any comment.